We will now begin our webinar session. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from everyone who has joined in. Right now, I'm Sagnik Datta, and I'll be your host for today's webinar, where we are bringing UniPrint with us. I work on the developing technical programs and toolkits for partners to perform joint solution validation that customers can benefit. So I provide them with the power of choice that then helps them to make customers better purchase decision, especially when they are already having a Citrix chosen as their key software to access their desktops, apps, and data. So today's webinar we have UniPrint, and this webinar is part of the Citrix Ready technical webinar series where we showcase how Citrix and our partners have integrated our products to deliver a valuable solution that cater to common problems faced by our customers. Along with me, I have our main speakers from UniPrint, David Fung, who is the Director of Sales and Marketing at UniPrint, and Tommy from who's a senior engineer at UniPrint. Together they'll present you with the 5 real benefits you can reap by adding UniPrint Infinity to the Citrix. UniPrint been our partners for a while now and been in the printing space for 15 plus years. They have a very sleek technology that very well includes alongside with your Citrix deployments, and they also won our Partner of the Month contest recently, and it's always a pleasure to work with them. So we're very happy to bring UniPrint to you guys. To give you a brief about Citrix Ready, Citrix Ready is an end-to-end technology partner program that showcases and recommends third-party solutions and products and services that demonstrate compatibility with Citrix products. Customers can quickly and easily find the solutions recommended by Citrix in the Citrix Ready Marketplace. That's this link over there. And if you're interested to learn more about our program and how it works, you can click on the next program, which is the link, the citrix.com/partner program/Citrix Ready. Well, I'll be handing over now to UniPrint, who will brief us about their company and take it from there. But before that, one housekeeping item to be kept in mind. You're free to post questions during our webinar in the question panel available on your right. And we'll address all the questions during our Q&A session at the end. And also we'll have another poll about printing as we flow. So, all right. Hey David, I welcome you to this technical webinar series that Citrix is conducting, and I will let you take it away.
Thank you very much, Sanik. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is a fantastic opportunity for UniPrint, and without further ado, I'll just start because in view of time, we got a lot of stuff to cover for some of you who know about UniPrint, and for those of you who have not seen UniPrint for a while, this is a great opportunity for us to talk about what's so different and so on. Okay, before we start, my name is David Fung. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director at UniPrint. And the first slide here is about who is UniPrint.net. So basically, we are an organization. We've been a Citrix Ready partner for more than a decade. We pioneered and patented a PDF-based universal printer driver. Some of you guys out there are either customers or partners would have heard of us. We started solving printer driver problems back in 1999 or something like that. Anyway, today we really have a very, I would say, very comprehensive software suite that really help people eliminate a lot of the printing driver issues, and also more importantly is to help customers now moving to digital, or what people are talking about, digital transformation. And of course, we are Citrix Ready certified, and we're compatible with all the Citrix products. So what is UniPrint? And as I said earlier, we started with a universal printer driver, and then we add a lot of other different modules. And today, this is really what we want to highlight. What are the differentiation between our universal printer driver and Citrix UPS? Because Citrix does have a UPS system as well, Universal Printer Server System. And what value add do we make Citrix and work better and working together better and make Citrix more prevalent and also in your customer base and also make it more widespread within the customer environment. So as I mentioned, we're a universal printer driver. Essentially, we place all printer drivers in Citrix XenApp and XenDesktop. And one of the key questions some people may want to ask later on, but anyway, is can we coexist together? Like absolutely we can. And then we with our enhanced printing modules, we basically one of the key differentiators is reduce bandwidth consumption. Really is because when you do use our universal printer driver, the first thing we do is we compress and encrypt the file. And during the demo, we'll show you some of the compression ratios and so on and so forth. All right. And so as I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to wait the screen so that you guys can see it, because of the internet and networking delay. So the UniPrint Infinity, basically the basic suite includes all this. The PDF UPD, as I said, centralized management console to take care of thin client printing, take care of some of the advanced features like hole punching, stapling that a universal printer driver cannot do, capture statistics, archiving, and so on. And then in the other one that when you use our VPAT appliances, then you can do secure pull printing, print release, and so on. And then all these other modules that we'll touch on in later slides. So just a very basic network diagram that can show you. On the left-hand side is the data center. And on the right-hand side, or even within the head office or remote locations. So essentially, UniPrint has three components to the Universal Printer Driver Application Server, the Bridge Server, or the Print Server. So, and the Print Server, not all. So you need three of those, one of each, basically. So the Universal Application Server basically convert and compressed the print job into PDF, and then the PDF will travel through the ICA tunnel using the bridge server as the traffic cop, basically, to make it very simple. The bridge server is also our licensing server, so it will direct the PDF file over to the remote sites or local in the head office, or go to a print server, which is your regular window print server, but have a UniPrint print server that will host all the native drivers and direct the print job to the printers. This is what we call the gateway module, which take care of, like if you have a fat client or Mac, then you install our UniPrint client, then you will take care of that PDF and print to the printers that you select or default and by your administrator. But if you have a thin client, then you cannot. Since you cannot install anything, then you need this gateway module to allow thin client to print. And then the last picture here really is the about secure pull printing. How do we take care of that? And I have just one slide on that. So this is what I would like Sednick to just do a polling question, because I want to talk about the key differentiator about Virtual Print Queue.
Let's do that.
So
we'll give 40 seconds.
Go ahead. Very simple question about help desk calls and all that kind of stuff.
$15 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I think let's close the polls now. We
Excellent.
have a fair distribution here.
All right, that's interesting.
Shall I hide it?
All right. Excellent. So one of the key differentiator between our universal printer driver and other universal printer driver is what we call the virtual print queue. So imagine if every one of your users or your customers or whatever just print to a virtual print queue, then of course now you don't have any printer driver issues or printer mapping issues, because as soon as you do a file and print, like I said earlier, now you convert that into the print job into a PDF file. Now it's being stored or held at our bridge server. As soon as you're ready to release the print job, then you go over to this VPad, and we'll show you during the demo. And now you can just release to the default printer, or you can add a PIN number so that you know it's secure printing. And also, most important of all is render independent. So the VPad doesn't really care what printers you use, whether it is a HP or Xerox. It works with everything. And it's a multi one-to-many device, not one-to-one. So you could have a print station area, and it also has, one of our models has built-in smart card readers, so it's HID or RFID compatible. Here's a much better picture on that. So one of the key feature or benefit of using pool printing, and for some of you may know already, is about saving printing costs, right? Because how many times have you print something and then you said, oh damn, I shouldn't, I don't need that anymore, so that's a waste, right? Or you print to a printer, a network printer, or you walk over there and said, oh, it disappeared, or somebody picked it up by mistake. Of course, two things happen. One, you need to print it again. The second, more importantly, now there's a security breach. What if you printed a payroll report or something like that? So pool printing has two benefits. One, secure printing. The second one is saving printing costs, because now if you don't want that report, you can delete that print job at the VPad and not pick it up, right? And also now you only have that print report when you are there. The other key differentiator in terms of our product is one of the features called Printer Profiler. Printer Profiler allows the system administrator to do a global default. So you can say, hey, certain Active Directory users, they shouldn't print to color. They should just print duplex and monochrome. You can do that at the printer level, or even at our administration level. The other function is that some people ask, hey, you know, how does universal printer driver handle stapling or hole punching or that kind of stuff? So this is what our utility allow you to create a specific printer profile for hole punching or stapling, so that now you can enforce whatever you wanted to have allow the users to use. And the other feature and module that we have is what we call the statistics and archiving module. The archiving module essentially allow you to archive all the PDF jobs, and for further storage or for scanning or for whatever. And also anybody who prints to UniPrint, we will keep track of who, what, when, and what application, how many pages, and so on. So it gives the visibility to the management and about who is printing, and you can even use, because it's a database, you can use our report module, or using other reporting software like Crystal reports or something to create any kind of report to track different printers and so on and so forth. So when you do a file and print, and you print to a VPQ, when do you release? We give you a lot of choices. So if you look at this screen, we have 3 different network appliance, or we call it print appliance, from the entry-level VPAT CE, which is really a compression and decompression engine, plus is also one-to-one. So you could connect an external card reader, connect this since it's a network device, and so you could self-discover. All these devices can be remotely and centrally managed and deploy and assign printers. So you said, hey, I want that to be a one-to-one to release printer. This is the VPAT-C that you would use. Or you say, hey, you know what, I just want to have one-to-one, and but one-to-many, I should say, and I would use a touch screen. This is the one that you use. But what if you want to have two-factor authentication, like a smart card or a fob, or whether it's RFID or HID, then you use our VPAT Pro, which has a built-in card reader, so that you can use RFID, government organizations, healthcare, and so on. So that's really a matter of choice, and this is how we could help you make it very efficient and cost-effective. The second choice, just my hesitating is that I just changed the screen, and I'm waiting for you guys to be able to see this. So as we all know, the multifunctional printers are very, well, as the name calls, it's multifunctional. So they have a display, and you can do a lot of things. So one of the customers' requests, and we started doing that now, is to embed our print and release software in one of these VPATs, or MFPs, I should say. So today we have Xerox, we have HP working together with those guys, Ricoh and Konica as well. So if you want to use your MFP to release the print job, now you can do that. All you need, if you want to use an external card reader or use just a touch screen, is use our software. Or if you want an external card reader, then you just add that to it, and using smart card. The third option, which is very exciting, and like anybody, a lot of organizations, obviously depends on where you are, what you do. A lot of your users have smartphone devices. So we have this choice again for print release, and we'll show you in our demo how we call it the UniPrint Vault, which is available from the Android Play Store or iOS App Store. It's downloadable. It's installed on your client. Essentially, you can release your print job to the printer that you want, and doing the demo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, the other key differentiator is, of course, now today, a lot of organizations say print, well, people pretty well, a lot of organizations are 24/7, and your printing infrastructure need to be highly available. Then we provide a high availability module, which allows you to have redundant bridge and redundant print servers, so that in case one of them dies or there's a hardware issue, it will be automatic up and running with no admin interruption. Here's a key differentiator, and some of you may have heard about the healthcare print suite. And this is where we combine the three modules and call it healthcare print suite. Of course, one of them is high availability. The other one is what we call the smart route printing. And the smart route printing is really another module that we created, and for EMR or EHR or electronic patient records or electronic medical records and so on. Some of these programs, applications is challenging in terms of location-based printing. This is where we will help solve the problem and make sure that the printer follows the healthcare roaming around. And the other one that people have challenged is label printing. And label printing, because of universal printer driver, is not very compatible or friendly with Zebra printers or Brother printers. So we have enhanced our printing module to take care of that, and basically print using the ZPL or ZPL2, zebra printing and programming language. So we bundle all those three together and make it a health printing suite. And this is a key differentiator because a lot of times when we go to the healthcare organizations, a lot of the organizations use Imprivatur single sign-on, tap and log on. Now with the integration, you not only do you tap and log on to the Citrix session, now you log on the Citrix session, you can also tap using the same card and release a print job using the same database. Now, a lot of people are now looking at Citrix Azure, Microsoft, and all, putting the Citrix as the infrastructure in Azure, and you can launch Citrix sessions using Azure. How do you print securely without going through all this firewall and configurations on VPN and all that? If you use our software, we essentially simplify all that. With the VPAT, it also allows you to do secure print and essentially make it much more user-friendly and secure. And the latest addition to our software suite is what we call print serverless printing. So, in your organizations or in your user environment or your customer environment, they're not 100% VDI or 100% Citrix server app or SAN app, and they have regular client desktop, and they have remote servers, print servers. How do you do direct IP printing? This is our latest addition to our Infinity suite. And all of these really come down to this slide right in front of you. Essentially, we have one universal printer driver, and this is what we're talking about, one virtual print queue, and then one management platform for all your different modules, and the benefits myself, if you want to take a look at the testimonial and so on and so forth, is available in our website. I think my time is up. This is my cue for getting Tommy to do a quick demo on compression and printer profile and follow me printing.
Thanks, David. My name is Tommy Billick. I'm a CE engineer at UniPrint, and I'm going to go over the real benefits for companies to add UniPrint Infinity to Citrix. Let me just share my screen here. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you is I have a demo environment set up in order to show you the benefits. I just have a DC here, a Citrix XenApp server, a UniPrint Bridge 1, UniPrint Bridge 2, primary print server, secondary print server, and a Windows 7 machine. So the first thing I'm going to show you is compression. And I have open on my screen a Citrix session. So I'm going to open my big test document and pause our UniPrint process so we can catch it in stream. This document's roughly about 250 pages. So I can go ahead and print this to any UniPrint printer. And by checking this folder, we'll be able to see how quickly it prints first and how small the file size is with our PDF-based universal driver. So we're done here. Let me just maximize this. So we're looking at roughly about 610 kilobytes. Printing this to a normal print driver, we're looking at 7.3 megabytes. So, the compression ratio is extremely high. Moving along, I wanted to show administrators how easy it is to set defaults such as duplex or black and white in our gateway printers. So, it could easily be set here and forced in order to cut costs. Another thing that is quite interesting is our printer profiles. Administrators can force duplex no matter what the user selects, and this is huge cost savings. As you can see, this can be set as a default profile, so the administrator will override and it will be forced to be printed as duplex or black and white. So David was talking about our VPAD secure print device. I'm going to go ahead and print a job to our VPQ, virtual print queue, after I unpause our session application. So I just have a test document here, print to our VPQ, put in a password, print, go over to our VPAD device, put in my username. Sure enough, it's there. Select it, put in my code. Oop. Well, I must have made a typo on the last screen. But this will allow you to print to any printer that is associated with this VPAD device. This can also be done with a RFID and HID card by tap. And next I wanted to show how a user could release a print job with printing to one of our email to print queues. So this is part of our mobile section. So I have made the VPQ a mobile printer. There's settings that need to be configured, such as ingoing and outgoing mail server, and also settings for the queue to make it email compatible queue. I will now share my iPad here so I can show you sending an email to this printer. The email address will be assigned to the printer, and I can fire off the email. It's over 30 file formats that are accepted. And if I go ahead and send this email, I have an open email here. I'm sending it to the queue that is associated with that printer. The email has been sent off. I can go to one of our VPAD devices, type in the email address that it was sent from, and at that point I see the job. An email has been sent to me. An email has been sent to me that tells me what the code is. So it's 8705. So go ahead. And then I can pick the printer that is associated with the VPAD and print the job. Okay, so that is a very email to print, an email address associated with the printer, as well as releasing it with our VPQ, which is Follow Me Printing. Next, I'd like to show you the next benefit would be our statistics. We have a UniPrint statistics viewer that is based on Crystal reports, and we have many interesting reports. We have a print job activity report. and that will show you, the username, the domain, the date, the name of the program, the printer, duplex or not, color or not, pages, copies, etc. I'll just quickly go through some of these reports here. This is a user activity report, for a certain date. But it would show, for example, Tom, or an email to print job, how many sheets, pages, duplex, color, black and white, etc. Day of the week usage report. You can pick a certain day and see how many jobs are being printed through the UniPrint Infinity system. A top number of users report. You could pick the top number of users and see the amount of pages printed, etc. So let me just pull that up, and it gives you an idea of our statistics package. Last but not least, we have a pre-recorded video I'd like to show you, and this video is of our UniPrint Vault software on an Android device and being tapped with NFC. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. So essentially the user's logging in, and this is the third method to release into our Vault application, selecting the job, saying NFC tag, tapping the printer that's been set up by the administrator, and finally releasing the job. I hope I've shown you the benefits in integrating UniPrint Infinity with Citrix, and I'd like to pass the presenter back. Thanks.
All right. Sanik, do you want to make mine presenter? So that
Sure,
was so that I can show my screen.
let me just do that.
Yeah. That was a very quick demo of some of our key features that I was talking about, and obviously there's a secure print, there's a mobile print, and so on, so on, so on. So, all right. I'm just going to, so everybody can see my screen, I imagine. If you don't, please let us know so that I believe you can see my screen now. So just a quick demo, and so I just want to take the next few minutes to recap, when we sent out this invite and talk about the 5 real benefits that you can add UniPrint to Citrix. So the first couple of ones, and we talk about virtual print queue. This is what we would believe that really simplify your print administration and user workflow. And there's a very good testimonial that we put on is by the Welsh government in Wales, UK, and they out of that there's like 6,000 users using our VPAD, VPQ. They really cut down on the printing costs and also cut down on the help desk costs as well. So if you want to experience that benefit, do so by taking a look of our software in terms of virtual print queue. The other one is we talk about healthcare suite. Of course, this is one of the biggest challenge for any healthcare apps is about location-based printing. And with our session ID and also our VPQ, that problem is easily solved. So you can take a look at that. With our Sprint Smart Route printing module, it basically allows Meditech to print to and make sure that the user or the printer follow the user. And the other one that is getting more and more, I guess, trending up is about people talking about cloud printing, cloud computing, and then of course the biggest challenge is, hey, how do you make sure that I have secure printing, I have visibility to only my printer and nobody else can see it, and I don't want to open up my IP address port to, in a public cloud, allowing people to look at, and without VPN, without firewall, how to do that? Well, take a look at our UniPrint Infinity suite and we can show you that. And last but not least, really, I'm very, obviously at UniPrint, we're very excited about the UniPrint Vault, which is what we show you in the video. Is a very simple demo. Basically, using your smartphone, you have choices to release your print job. And I don't know whether you catch that, but we try to do this demo live on webinar is very difficult. And so we'll try to, we decided to use a video. So you have three choices when you use the smartphone, the Vault to release print job. You saw the QR code. You can use iBeacon. You know, iBeacon is very, very popular now and very trending. The cost is minimal. You get one of those iBeacon plug into your printer. Now, we know where you are with your mobile phone, mobile tablet, Surface Pro, iPad, what have you, or even Android tablet, and you can then print to the printer closest to it. And of course, you can archive those files because this is all PDF. And you saw the NFC tap and print demo there. All right. I guess now is for Q&A, and I will turn it over to Satnik. And any questions from the floor, Satnik?
Hey, thank you so much, David and Tommy. Yes, there are a number of questions that has been asked. I will take one after the other. And thank you for the wonderful presentation and the detailed demo, Tommy and David. So let's move on to the Q&A session now. One of the questions that's asked is about mobile printing. Can mobile printing for UniPrint be implemented by itself, or does it need to have the full UniPrint Infinity product?
Yeah, you could basically get the UniPrint Infinity with the module enabled, and that basically then you could use it for, like I mentioned earlier, some of the Citrix users, basically they are very pleased with the UniPrint, the Citrix Universal Printer Service System, and they just want to add mobile print. Absolutely, you can. We have customers doing just that.
Perfect. And there's another one. What is required to have a print server at a remote site while the application and the bridge server is located in the Azure cloud? And does it require a VPN?
I'll answer that one. No, VPN is not required. There will be an outside IP address for the bridge server in the Azure cloud, and just one port, our port 999, will have to be opened and forwarded to the bridge server. That's all.
Okay. And Tommy, can you also comment on how hard is this to implement in the Microsoft Citrix Azure environment?
Yes, it's not really hard at all. Currently, we're working on, we have a template in the marketplace. It would have the bridge and print server on one machine, and you could spin that up in minutes. We're also working on other templates if customers want to separate bridge and print servers. We're also, their application servers will be up in the cloud as well. So this is all pretty seamless and a quick way for a customer to get a UniPrint Infinity print environment up and running.
Cool. Another question that is about the licensing. How is the product licensed for UniPrint Infinity?
The licensing is on a concurrent user basis, just like Citrix, really.
And desktop.
And a desktop, that's it. So we have a very simple licensing engine. We based on number of users concurrently using, is based on number of concurrent users.
And do I need to take out my Citrix UPS installation in order to use UniPrint Infinity?
The answer to that one is the answer to that one is both installations can run at the same time. It's not a problem at all. The Citrix universal print server, as well as the UniPrint Infinity product can, seamlessly work in the same environment without, causing any issues.
Perfect. And how is the email assigned to printers? Can we look those up in our global address book?
The user can assign any email with a printer, as long as I showed him my demo, as long as the configuration information for the outgoing and the incoming mail server is put in correctly, as well as that address and the password. It can be any email. Our software doesn't let it look doesn't let you look it up in the address book, but as long as you have that information, you can put it into our product.
Perfect. That was a very rapid fire round. And lastly, Saran has a question on what is the average time taken to print the document which you sent?
The average time to print which type of document?
Yeah, I think a little bit of more explanation. So there's
Well,
no
we gave an
format
example.
written.
We printed a 250-page document, in order to show the compression in our universal PDF-based driver. And as you can see, I believe it's around 7 or 8 seconds. We're rendering our PDF for a huge document, 250 pages, and that's much quicker than spooling on a Windows EMF print job.
I can quote a use case from one of our customers who did a benchmark using UniPrint and before and after. So this is a financial organization. They have a data center in the U.S. and then they have back office in Asia, India, and Philippines, I believe. A 100-page Word document without UniPrint took 4 minutes and 28 seconds. With UniPrint, it only took them 23 seconds. So you can see the speed of the printing is a lot faster, and obviously the end users do not have to wait there for a long time, right? And like Tommy said, it all depends on the file and format, right? So I would welcome that, our software is available for free trial, so you can always download it from our website, and our technical support team, customer experience team, should certainly help you make sure that you configure it right and so on. But it's very easy, and it's only 3 components. You can spin a virtual server or physical server depending on your organization, put them in, test drive it.
Perfect.
Any other question?
I think we're done. We're good. That's all that I see in my question panel list.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I see many attendees asking about the slides and recording of the webinar, and we just share the link of the slides on the chat, and the recording of this webinar along with the slides will be sent to you over to your registered email ID within a day or 2. And with that said, we're about to end today's webinar. I want to take a moment to thank again our speakers. David and Tommy, thanks for your time, for making this fantastic presentation and the demo and sharing these great insights with us. And last but not the least, I want to thank each one of you for attending our webinar today in the Citrix Ready Technical Webinar Series, and this shall conclude our broadcast.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.